Good morning, class 11. How is class 11? Is class 11 finding accountancy simple or difficult? Okay, I got my answer. Okay, girls, in case of any difficulty, any misinterpretation, or anything that is unclear in the videos that are sent to you for accountancy, please do not accumulate your doubts, do not carry forward your doubts. Let the concepts get their clarity. You are free to post your doubt at my convenience. I will keep answering your doubts. Okay, the doubts may not be answered, your questions may not be answered at the same time. At my convenience, when I get time, when I see your queries, I will surely answer your queries, but at my convenience. But you will make sure that you will get the answer. Okay, girls, for today, proceeding with accountancy, we had left on cash book. We were doing cash book, the single column cash book we had maintained. Reminding you, reviewing back a little about cash book. What is cash book? Cash book is a journalized ledger. Why journalized ledger? If you remember, yes, cash book is a journalized ledger because cash book resembles journal as well as ledger. How does it resemble journal? The format does not resemble the journal. Then why is cash book called a journal? Cash book is called a journal because this is the first time of recording the cash transactions, and journal is the record of primary entries. That means the first entries are recorded in a significant manner at a place called journal. But for cash transactions, journal need not be maintained if there is a cash book that is being maintained. So cash book, if maintained, solves the purpose of journal, but for only the cash transactions, only for the cash transactions. Okay, and then why is it called a ledger? Journalized ledger. Why is it called a ledger? It is called a ledger because the format of the cash book resembles the format of a ledger. Ledger is an analytical book with two sides, the debit side and the credit side. A ledger account records two aspects, both the aspects of every transaction, and so as the cash book. Cash book records what is coming in the cash. Real account, remember the rule of real accounts? Cash has a real account, so debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Whatever is coming in form of cash will be recorded here. Whatever is going out in form of cash will be recorded here on this side, on the credit side. So we continue now. We proceed with unsolved question number 2. The unsolved question number 2 in your textbooks reads the transactions in Messrs. Mukherjee Brothers and Books. In the books of Messrs. Mukherjee Brothers. So you can trace the question. It will not be possible for me to keep showing the transaction in my textbook. I will keep reading the transaction. You keep following the transaction in your textbook. The first entry dated 1st April. It reads balance of cash in hand. Balance of cash in hand means what cash book has, what we have, either what we have or what comes in is on the debit side. So to balance brought down. Debit side is always prefixed with to and the credit side is prefixed with by. So what we have will be recorded here in the credits, what we have on the debit side and what we pay on the credit side. So balance of cash in hand on the debit side, what we have, rupees 50,000. Then purchased goods for cash. Goods have been purchased for cash. For cash means it will find a place in the cash book. It has to be recorded. If it has to be recorded, where will it be recorded? Purchase goods. Goods are coming in and cash is going out. Cash goes out on the credit side in the cash book. So by purchases, rupees 22,000 on the credit side. Again, dated 7th and transaction dated 7th April. Purchase goods. Purchase goods means goods have been purchased for rupees 13,000. Do we record it? Yes, goods purchased are assumed to be purchased on cash basis. If nothing has been mentioned, it is assumed that the transactions are on the cash basis. So if the name of the supplier is given and the word cash has not been used, then we assume the transaction is on credit. A general assumption we take to solve the transaction, to find a corner of the transaction. So purchase goods, even though the word cash has not been used, The name of the supplier also is not there, so we assume it is on cash basis. So it is 7th April, purchase goods for 15,000, buy purchases rupees 15,000, and it is recorded on the credit side. Proceeding with next transaction, dated 10th April, purchase goods from Gopi. We have purchased goods from Gopi. Name of the supplier is given, but then the word cash has not been used. Name of the supplier is given. We assume the transaction is on credit, and credit transactions do not get a place in the cash book, so it will not be recorded at all. Entry dated 13th, purchase goods from Gopi for cash. Yes, purchase goods for Gopi on cash, because cash word has been very clearly used, so we write it on the credit side. We have purchased goods from Gopi. When the purchases are in cash, we need not write the name of the supplier. Buy purchases rupees 10,000. Sold goods, cash is coming to sales. 15th, sold goods to Vishwakarma, assumed to be a credit transaction. It will not come here. It will not find place in the cash book. 20th, sold goods to Raghunathan for cash. For cash means it will be recorded sold goods, so on the debit side. To sales, rupees 18,000. 25th April, received commission. Commission is being received. To commission, rupees 5,000. And entry dated 30th April, paid rent, payments on the credit side, paid rent rupees 10,000 on the credit side, and we make the total. The total of the debit side is always done first. The total of the debit side of cash book will always be more than the credit side. Cash book, I told you, has a debit balance, means debit balance, the debit side always has a larger total than the credit side. We make the total of the debit side, which comes to 93,000. We make the total of the credit side, subtract the total of credit side from the total of debit side, and the balance comes here on the credit side. Balance by balance carried down, 36,000, and this balance carried down on the last date of the month will be the opening balance. To balance brought down on first date of the next month, 36,000, and the question ends here. If you finish the question here, you will lose marks. Half a mark or a mark will be lost depending upon the amount. So the balance carried down should always be brought down to the next month as opening balance. To balance brought down, 36,000, and the question ends here. I hope we are clear with this. Okay, proceeding to one more question. Next question. Now you will do question number 3 in the textbook. Question number 3, single column cash book. Mr. Vipin commenced business with cash. That is a homework for you. This is the question. Mr. Vipin commenced business with cash, rupees 2 lakh. That is your homework question. You will do this, and in case of any doubts, you will ask. Question number 4 also you will do it. Enter the transaction in the single column cash book. That also will be done. Okay, proceeding now to one more single column cash book only, but we proceed to one more aspect, the cash discount. What is a discount? Remember, we had done 2 types of discounts, cash discount and trade discount. Yes, cash discount is a discount that is provided by the supplier to encourage prompt payment, to get prompt payment, so that the cash is received at the earliest, so that there is no risk of bad debts. So to encourage the cash recovery at the earliest, we give a rebate, that cash discount. Cash discount is always part of accounting. Trade discount is not recorded at all, but cash discount is recorded. So in case in the cash transaction in the cash book there is a cash discount, where will we record that cash discount? Here is how we record the cash discount. There are 2 types of cash discount allowed and discount we have received. Let us take in case cash discount, we have allowed discount. We have allowed discount means discount is an expense. It will definitely come on the debit side. How will it come? See, goods sold to X worth rupees 100. This is a transaction. Goods sold to X worth rupees 100, at a cash discount of 20. Goods of 100 are being sold at a discount of 20. And if he makes the payment in 10 days, that means he will enjoy this 20 rupees discount if the payment is made within 10 days. And yes, the question specified he pays in 8 days. That means he will avail this cash discount of 20 rupees. If he avails this 20 rupees, how do we record it? In the cash book, what have we got? We were supposed to get 100, but now we will get only 80 because 20 has gone by way of discount. This discount will be recorded as a journal entry. Under the cash book, you will make one small journal entry for the allowed discount. Discount allowed being expense will be debited to X's account. Discount allowed to X for the only amount of discount. And for the remaining amount, what has actually been received, that will come on the debit side of the single column cash book. Cash book to X rupees 80. 100 rupees transaction to 20 rupees discount, 80 received in cash. So 80 will come in the cash book. To cash to X, the giver 80 rupees, the amount actually received. This is how we record the cash discount. Same will be the case with the discount allowed, the discount received. The only difference is discount allowed is an expense, discount received will be a payment. It will be recorded on the credit side. Now suppose if goods worth rupees 100 are purchased from Y, goods have been purchased from Y. See, discount received always comes with purchase transaction, so it will definitely come on the credit side. Goods purchased from Y for rupees 100 at a cash discount of rupees 10 if the payment is made on time, and the payment is made on time. We have been specified payment is made on time. That means we will enjoy the discount, cash discount at 10% or 10 rupees, 100 rupees 10% at 10 rupees we will get. So the ultimate entry that will be made in the cash book will be for the net amount 100 rupees minus the discount amount, 90 rupees will be the amount of payment. So what about the discount? We follow the principle of full disclosure. We cannot omit disclosing the amount discount. We have to disclose the amount of discount. In the journal entry, we will make one small journal entry for only the discount. Why? To discount received. Discount received, remember, is an income, so will always be credited. 10 rupees, 10 rupees, it will be journal entry made, and the entry of discount has been done in the cash book. Discount allowed on the debit side, discount the amount of discount allowed on the debit side and the amount of discount received on the credit side. And discount, net amount of discount will always come in a journal entry followed by the cash book. Are we clear, girls? With the cash, with the discount? Okay, we proceed with one more question after this. Here, girls, after the single column cash book, why did we use the word single? Because there the amount column was single. On either side, the amount column was single. One amount column on the debit and one amount column on the credit. Now we advance to a double column cash book. Double column cash book means double column of amount on either side, on the debit side and double column on the credit side. What does a double column means? When both are amount, then why do we confuse ourselves more? Girls, double column means the entire amount, the entire transaction, all the transaction, that means 100% of business cannot be dependent on cash. We cannot transact the entire business, 100% business on cash basis. We have to depend on hard cash. Even if it is on cash basis, but we receive payments in check. We allow payments in check, we make payments in check. So where will that go? Check amount has been taken in cash. It is not credit, but cash has not come to my pocket also. So where has the cash gone? Cash has gone to the bank. So for such transactions, we have to maintain a bank column also. The cash column for the hard cash, the currency that has been received. For a bank column, all the amounts that have gone to the they have come spontaneously, instantly, with the transaction they have come or they have gone, but then it is from the bank account. Amount has gone from the bank or amount has come to my bank account, it has not come to the pocket. So for such transactions we maintain an additional amount column on either side. This is the bank column. So such cash book with two amount columns on debit and two amount columns on credit, this type of cash book is called a double column cash book. A double column cash book, the principle of cash book remains the same. What we receive in cash on the debit, what we pay in cash on the credit. The only difference is that what comes in cash will be taken on the cash column, what goes to the bank will be taken on the debit side of bank column. If we make payments are made in cash, so it will go on the cash credit side of the cash column. If payments are made through check, that means amount has gone from my account, but then it is not my pocket, it is my account, so amount will come definitely. Payments made means credit side, but they have gone from my bank, so on the credit side of the bank column we will write it here. That is the fundamental of double column cash book. Now see here, for example, I've taken here, if cash is deposited into bank rupees 1000, cash deposited in the bank rupees 1000, that means cash balance, cash from my cash has been deposited into my bank. My cash with me has reduced and bank has increased. That means what was lying with me, I have deposited that in the bank. So that means my cash balance with me reduces and the bank balance increases. These type of entries, when the second party, there is no other party getting affected. It is my account, this is my account, this is my pocket. It is only me in picture. These type of entries, but then there is no second party to the entry, in the entry, but then there are two places of the transaction that are getting affected. These type of entries are called contra entries. The word used is contra entries, CONTRA, contra entries. These are the contra entries. Cash deposited and cash withdrawn. Let us take one example. Cash deposited in the bank means cash balance is reduced. Cash balance is reduced means in the double column cash book it will come in the cash column. Reduce means credit side. We always remember reduction in the cash book means something is reduced means credit side. Something has increased means debit side. What has increased? Cash has from my pocket has gone to the bank. Bank balance has increased. In the bank column we write it on the debit side. In the cash column we write it on the credit side, and the contra entry is done. For the an indication that this is the contra entry in the ledger folio column. This is the ledger folio column. On both the sides we maintain. In the ledger folio column we write a C against both the transactions. Both the transactions are dated on the same on the same date. Two effects of the same transactions take place. On one side cash is going out, and on the other side bank is receiving it. So cash deposited in the bank, cash column में credit side, bank column में debit side. Bank column is increasing and the cash column is decreasing. These type of entries are called contra entry. Writing the C for such transactions in the ledger account in the ledger folio is very, very mandatory. It is very important. Same effect can be when cash is withdrawn from bank. Cash is withdrawn from bank rupees 5000. Now उल्टा हो गया उसका. Cash has been withdrawn. Cash, that means from the bank cash is reduced and to my pocket cash is increasing. Cash balance increases and bank balance reduces. So bank column में credit side, cash column में debit side. जब cash column में लिख रहे हैं, for reference we will write bank account. On the bank column we will write for reference cash. By cash to bank, and contra entry on both the sides. That is it. It is done. Are we clear? Okay. Proceeding now to next thing, when check is received. The checks have been received. Checks received. It is a check that is received. Cash has not increased. A check has been received. So where do we record that? Where do we record that amount? When a check is received, we record it. That means let us see if it is now is check has been received. That means bank column. We have received a check. Bank column will definitely somebody has made the payment through check. We have got the payment. We will write that amount has been received. On the debit side, we have to record in the bank column. But suppose that check, now when the checks, one thing is clear in the double column cash book, whenever you are making payment from the bank column, definitely by it is in the cash column. In case by bank cash and you are taking it out, it will be on the both the sides. But now making payment is same on both the sides, the case is not different. But when you are receiving the payment, somebody else is making a payment to you. In that case, the difference arises when that check is deposited into the bank or not. See, somebody made a payment to you through a check. That means check is received. So check is received means cash तो नहीं आया तुम्हारी pocket में. If cash has not come to your pocket, where has the cash gone? To the bank. पर check भी अभी तक बैंक नहीं गया. So neither the bank has increased nor the cash has increased. So where will we record the transaction? We have to follow the principle of full disclosure. We cannot omit recording. ऐसे नहीं हो सकता कि हम जब कैश करेंगे तब रिकॉर्ड कर लेंगे, जब बैंक में डालेंगे तब रिकॉर्ड कर लेंगे. No, we have to record. We have received the check today. This check which is received for the payment received, this check is given a new name, check in hand. The account that is opened in that case is called check in hand. Now let us see if that check is received, payment has been received in check, and that check on the same day has been sent to the bank and my bank balance increases with that amount. Definitely I will have to record it on the debit side of the bank column. Bank increases, debit side of bank column. 2x rupees 100, x ने payment दिया through a check and I sent that check to the bank. Bank balance increase हो गया. No problem, no doubts at all. 2x rupees 100. But in case this check, cash has been received in check, but this check has not been deposited in the bank on the same day. Check आया, pocket में रख लिया, भूल गए देना, time नहीं मिला. Check is lying. Has the bank balance increased? No. Has my cash increased? No. So what do I say? Where will the transaction be made? Where is the entry shown? It is shown in this new account called check in hand. This amount is called check in hand. Check in hand has increased. At that time, we record an entry check in hand to cash. Means check has been received but yet not sent to the bank. It is check but in hand. Check in hand 2x. When I send this to the bank, at that time I make the entry, that is second part. This transaction is made in two parts. First is check in hand to x and the second will be debit side check in hand. When this check in hand goes to the bank, at that time when it goes to the bank, check in hand to bank rupees 100 and it is done. Check in hand on the debit side of the bank column and then it is assumed to be done. Are we clear? Check in hand till the transaction, till the check has not been sent to the bank. It is entered in the journal check in hand to X. On the date when it is sent to the bank, we enter on the debit side of the bank column of cash book to check in hand rupees 100 and the transaction then is closed for the check, the payment that was received in check. Are we clear, girls? Okay, now we proceed. This is one question, unsolved question number 6 from your textbook. I am sharing this question with you. I have solved this so that you understand it better. Question number 6 in your textbook. I'll just open and show. This is a double column cash book with cash book of Bhanu Pratap with cash and bank column. On the cash in hand in this question is 2700. This question, cash in hand is rupees 2710. This is the end question. You can locate this question, how it is being done. I will keep following the transactions as they come. The first entry on 1st of March we write March on the top, 2017 we write on top of both the years. Cash in hand rupees 2710, and in the bank we write in the bank column 27500. Then Subhash, with the next is received from Subhash. Received means on the debit side, so to Subhash rupees 2 will come in all the transactions. I have missed that. You will not miss. 2 and by have to come. To Subhash rupees 3500. Then next is sold goods for cash. Sales always comes on the debit side. To sales rupees 10,000. Then paid rent by check. Paid rent 7th March by rent. By check means it is in the bank column. It will definitely come in the bank column. Then paid Sohan by check. Paid Sohan by Sohan, again in the bank column. Then bought goods for cash. By purchases but in the cash column. Paid cash for stationery. Drew from the bank for office use. Okay, paid cash from stationery. We are paying cash. Cash means by stationery, cash column. But here now, drew cash from bank, withdraw from the bank. Bank is getting reduced. So bank column on the credit side and cash column on the debit side. It will be a contra entry. Drawn cash from the bank or deposited cash into the bank are contra entries. Then 15th, received check from Surendra and sent it to bank. Received check from Surendra and sent it to bank. On 15th, to Surendra, send it to bank means bank column will increase with rupees 6,600. Payment for advertisement by advertisement rupees 750. Cash column. 18th, issued check in favor of Nath Brothers. Issued a check. 18th, Nath Brothers, we have issued a check. I told you payments, we do not have to worry whether the payment has been encashed or not. We have made the payment means it will come in the Nath. It will come on the credit side. So Nath Brothers 16,000. Next is 19th, cash sales and paid into bank. Cash sales and paid into bank. Cash sales are 16,000 and we have paid that into bank. It goes to the bank also. Cash sales 13,000, cash paid into bank, contra entry 16,000. It will come here also. It will come here also. Then received check from Vinod and sent it to bank. Received check from Vinod and sent it to bank. To Vinod, we have sent it to bank in the bank column 2,400. Bought scooter and paid for the same by check. Bought scooter and paid for the same by check. We have bought scooter by vehicle account. And paid by check means bank column 6,600. Bank returned Surendra's check dishonored. Bank has returned the check as dishonored by Surendra. Dishonor of the check means credit column, the credit side, bank column credit side 7,200. Paid salary by check, paid salary by salary, trade expenses by trade expenses, cash sales to sales, and cash the left amount, and paid into bank contra entry. We have paid into the bank the amount that is left 9,500 that has been paid into bank. 9,500 is paid to bank. Done, and the balance will be found. This is the balance. Are we clear, girls? Okay, let us proceed to one more question.